Greetings from Indus Valley Public School Rat. Welcome to e-learning class of English class 10th, where we will be doing a poem from First Flight book. Name of the poem is Animals. This poem is written by Walt Whitman. So now children, in this poem we will see Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between human beings and animals. He has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain, which he thinks animals do not have. That is why he thinks that animals are much better than human beings. So children, before moving towards the poem, let's know about the poet. Walt Whitman, he was born in 1819 till 1992, is a major figure in early American poetry. So he is an American and he used to write American poetry. In an age when all poetry was rhymed and metrical, Whitman made a break with tradition and wrote a revolutionary new kind of poetry in free verse. That means his poem is free from rhyme scheme. You will not be able to find a rhyme scheme in this poem. He was a non-conformist in all respects, including his social life. So now he is a non-conformist person. Now coming towards the introduction. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in the Leaves of Grass. In this poem, the poet Walt Whitman admires animals for being better than human beings. The poet wishes to live with animals and to experience a life where no one complains and where everyone is free of sins and sorrows. So now he loves to stay with animals because they are not going to complain. They are happy the way they are and they are satisfied with whatever they are having. So this is the introduction of the poem. Now moving towards the poem, here we will be find explanation in this video, and explanation will also include the poetic devices also. So children, the poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans. So he is more comfortable with animals as compared to human being, whom he finds complicated and false. So he finds human being a complicated person, and they are not true from their heart. They are false representative. So here he is comparing human beings with animals. Let's move to the explanation now. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I looked at them long and long. So children, in these lines, poet is telling that he is presenting his strong desire to live in the world of animals. Placid means calm and peaceful environment. Okay. So now here poet finds the world of animals better than that of human beings. He further adds that he finds animals more peaceful than human beings. He also say this thing because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. Like they do not want money, they do not want comfort, they do not want people in this. So means जो भी आपका worldly चीज़ें हैं, जो materialistic thing है, animals are not running behind that like human beings. They are calm and have no greed for these materialistic things or any kind of achievements. Now human beings are running behind earning money, they lose relations, something like that. So they are behind the materialistic thing, comforts and all. But animals are not doing that way. They are self-contained. That means they are happy whatever they are having in their life, and they never interfere in the lives of others. Even though human beings are having the habit of interfering in others' life, but here animals, they do not poke their nose into other animals' life. So poet thinks that animals are far better than human beings as they are calm and not interfering in the matter of others. The poet further says that there are the reasons why he still and looks at the animals for a very long time. So there are n number of reasons for why poet is looking at the animals for a long period of time. So now coming towards the poetic devices given in these lines, assonance is there like use of wall. So see the first line, you will find many eyes are there. So I think I could turn and live again I with I animal. So I ka repetition is there, so assonance is there. Repetition of the word long is there, and then you find anaphora because this I and I, the capital I, they are continuing in the lines. Okay, so here three poetic devices are there and it's free from verse, so no rhyme scheme is there. Now coming towards the next lines, they do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. So now again in these lines, poet is saying that like human being, animal do not complain for any kind of misery. Whatever is happening, they are not complaining for that. They never cry out loud like human do. जब कुछ हो जाता है तो human beings start crying, no? So these animals never do. Like they will weep, but they will not cry loudly to show that what they have lost, what they're suffering or something like that. Animals never used to do. They never stay awake in the night crying in repentance for their wrongdoings. Like we have a tendency, human beings are having tendency when something goes wrong, so they will not sleep, they become sleepless night. But for animals it doesn't like that. They do not repentance, so they do not feel sorrow or something like that. उसे पछतावा इतना नहीं होता उस सब चीज़ों के लिए because they do not care. This means that animals are different from human beings because they do not show anger or grief if something wrong happens in them. He further added that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. मतलब भगवान के नाम पे whatever good things they are doing, they never used to tell or they do not exaggerate about that thing. They cannot boast that thing. मतलब बढ़ा चढ़ा के और कुछ बोलते नहीं है. And the most of human being used to do these things. मतलब उनको कुछ अच्छा किया तो they used to tell everybody. Then they try to show their good deeds and religious to others. जो अच्छे काम करते हैं, पूजा करते हैं या बहुत अच्छी moral values लाते हैं, तो human being used to show off, but animals never used to do any kind of show off. And human being also do these things to gain the popularity. जो अपने उनके जो फेलो पीपल होते हैं उनके बीच में जो पॉपुलैरिटी चाहिए, they used to do in that way also. Now the poet is also think that the animal never irritate him by doing such thing just to gain some praise from their fellow people. Even poet feels that the animals are not dissatisfied like other humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind worldly or materialistic things. They never try to possess things for comfort and their luxuries, and none of them is mad behind owning the worldly, and no animals is mad to have all the luxurious life. Okay, सो आई थिंक इनफ कंप्लीट कि जो भी उनके हार्ड वर्क है या उनका ट्रबल है किसी भी कंडीशन में, दे डू नॉट कंप्लेन and they are not awaking in the night, they are not running behind the worldly things. So whatever they are having, animals are satisfied with that. But in opposite to that, or in contrary to that, human beings are behind all the things, and he used to do all the things. So hope you understood this thing. Now coming to the literary devices, anaphora is used like they and they. Repetition is used in continuous line ka they, so it is anaphora. Then metaphor is there, sweat and wine. So wine is used for cries and sweat is used for complaints, whatever the human beings are doing. Okay, so this is in comparison done for sweat and wine. Coming to the next lines, not one kneels to another nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relation to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. So now in this given lines, poet is telling that. Before that, I'll explain you. Just take down the word meanings of kneel means to bow down. जो आप इस तरह से बैठते हो ना घुटनों के बल knees के bend down करके, that is. And evince means to show something, to reveal something. And I think possession, so you know that is to have something, to own something. And token here is used for qualities, whatever traits you are having, characters you are having. Fine. So now in this lines, poet is saying that he has never seen any animal showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. Means dedication नहीं show, जैसे हम किसी को बहुत ज़्यादा मान लेते हैं तो we just bow down in front of that. They never do so even for their ancestors. They do not show devotion towards God like human beings do. Nor no one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. जैसे हम लोग के कैडर होते हैं, मतलब कि ये प्रेसिडेंट है, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट है, और जो भी आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में कैडर्स होते हैं, तो ह्यूमन एनिमल्स में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. दे नेवर बो टू एनीवन. उनके लिए सेल्फ है, बाकी और कोई नहीं है. So in human being, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with more respect as compared to the poor people. But in the society of animals, it doesn't happen. So whatever is there, they used to do in their own way. वो अपनी society में accept करते हैं जैसा होता है, and they go ahead. So they show in their relation to me and I accept them. So now here is saying कि whatever they are showing, everything is acceptable. Poet is saying he doesn't want that animals or human beings are doing any show off. जैसे human beings show off करते हैं but animals are not doing. So he is very happy with these human animals. He is ready to spend his life with the animals. They bring me token of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. So now here poet is saying that कि वो लोग अपनी ही क्वालिटी में मुझे अपने साथ रखना चाहते हैं. Whatever the quality they are having, he just want to have. So they are not like human being who find themselves the happiest or the saddest person on earth. So now poet said the animals are more honest in showing their reaction with other animals. मतलब यहाँ पे ह्यूमन जो होते हैं वो अपने रिएक्शंस को छिपाते हैं. दे हैव डुअल फेस, बट एनिमल्स डू नॉट हैव द डुअल फेस. वॉट एवर दे आर हैविंग दे रिवील, जो उनका है वही है. सो दे डू नॉट हाइड एनी थिंग. सो पोएट वॉन्ट्स टू से दैट एनिमल्स यूज अदर एनिमल एज देयर फूड एंड दे नेवर ट्राई टू हाइड दिस. तो जैसे उन्हें पता है कि वो एनिमल को हंट करने वाला है तो वो हंट करेगा. बट यहाँ पे बैक बाइटिंग, ह्यूमन बीइंग बैक बाइटिंग बहुत करता है जो कि एनिमल्स नहीं करेगा. सो वेयर एज ह्यूमन बीइंग shows that they have nice and friendly relation with others, though the reality is opposite, that is backbiting. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relation with other animals. तो जो भी उनका real nature है, जो भी उनका real trait है, जो भी उनकी real qualities हैं, they used to show that thing. वो उसको कभी भी hide नहीं करते हैं as human being used to do. So now here metaphor is used like inner quality of human beings are referred as token. तो token यहाँ पे human का inner quality से comparison किया गया है. Okay, so यहाँ पे metaphor is used. Now coming towards these lines, I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently dropped them? So now what happened in this line, poet is saying that introspect himself and say that from where the animals got these qualities. So now he is telling कि ये animals को ये quality मिली कहाँ से. He further questions himself that where is own good qualities are gone. Means human being की जो खुद की qualities थी, good qualities, वो कहाँ चली गई. Did he left them or had carelessly lost them somewhere? या तो जो ह्यूमन बीइंग है वो कहीं पे छोड़ आया है या उसने खो दी है. मतलब केयरलेसनेस ने, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं गुड क्वालिटीज़ तो हैं, बट वो कभी रिवील नहीं होती, शो नहीं होती, क्योंकि वो कहीं छोड़ आया है, ये कहीं उसने रख दी है. द क्वालिटी दैट वी फाउंड इन ह्यूमन बींग्स इन द पास्ट, लाइक इनोसेंस, काइंडनेस, ट्रूथफुलनेस, आर सीन इन एनिमल्स में ये मिलती है. He wondered that humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animal. तो ह्यूमन बीइंग ने ये कभी अपने से खो दी, अपने से कहीं छोड़ दी है, और अब ये सारी चीज़ें कहाँ पे दिखती हैं, एनिमल्स में दिख रही हैं. सो ह्यूमन हैव left all these qualities and these qualities are taken over by animals. So now children, in this the poetic devices are that they get those tokens. So here T का repetition is there. They में T है, those का T, tokens का T. So alliteration is there. And one more alliteration is there, you can find out, like wonder where, WW का repetition is there. Fine. So now hope you have understood the explanation of the poem as well as the literary devices or the poetic devices of the poem. Now coming towards the conclusion that we find in the poem, that in this poem, the poet stresses the fact that animals are better than human beings as their love for human beings is genuine. They possess qualities like love, respect, contentment, and happiness, like humans, sometimes better than them. So, now what happened? Qualities like love, respect, contentment, and happiness, these are found in animals, and these are the qualities of human beings. But now, these qualities are much more nicely found in the एनिमल्स में ज़्यादा अच्छे से पाई जाती हैं. He also wants to tell us that humans have become complicated and false. So now human beings, you cannot predict human beings how they are going to behave. You cannot, they are more complicated person, unable to understand, and even they have dual face, so they are false representative. On the other hand, animals are free from all types of trivial anxieties, so they are still living in the natural life. तो उन्हें कोई एंजाइटी नहीं है कि उन्हें ये चीज़ करनी है, ये चीज़ पाना है, इसको हमें कमाना है, और समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो दे लिव अ नेचुरल लाइफ. कोई भी बनावटी लाइफ नहीं है, कोई भी अनरियल लाइफ नहीं है उनके लिए. सो दे आर नेचुरल. According to him, animals are complacent and self-contained, unlike human beings. So now animals are self-satisfied and whatever they are having. So according to poet, animals are self-satisfied creatures. So poet is very happy to be surrounded with the animals rather than the human beings. Hope you have understood the explanation of the poem. Thank you so much for watching it. Thank you so much.